Hello guys, welcome once more to Gaming Insiders. Today we are going to cover my monitor. Yep, 1 year with the AOC AGON 34-inch 3440 by 1440p 175 refresh rate. This panel is a QD-OLED, okay, which is very good in my opinion, and for the price versus quality that you are receiving back, comparing it to the other OLEDs, pretty worth it. So it's still worth it in 2026 for me completely. And if you are thinking about buying an OLED, gaming monitor, you probably already watched a bunch of reviews, okay? But um, most of the reviews are based on a few days. And a couple of weeks of use. You have a few of them. But regarding these monitors specifically, uh, I think I only found one or two reviews or three max, and it's just very superficial regarding the presets that comes with the OLED. So um, for me, and what we are going to talk about today, it's the image quality and how well it holds after 1 year of use, uh, almost every day, even to work. So put it there 7 8 hours of working, sometimes more, plus some in-gaming sessions. It's holding very very well, and how the gaming performance also at 175 refresh rates. Real issues that only show up over time, like for example burning and and nothing, pretty much burning normally, about burning concerns, okay, and whether it's still worth for you or not, or if you should consider it as a possible buy. Because honestly, some things about this monitor are still amazing, and for me, I'm still blown away every time that I turn on to either play or to work on. um, but yeah, so in terms of design and specs, um, the first and a quick overview. Again, this is a 34-inch ultra wide 3414 by 4040p monitor resolution, which is the 21 to 9 aspect ratio. Okay, it uses a QD-OLED, as I mentioned in the beginning, and the panel is 175 Hz max refreshing rates. The responding time is basically instant because it's around 0.03, but mo- every OLED will have that response time, and nothing beats that in regard if you are comparing it to an IPS or VA or a mini LED, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, it supports adaptive sync, G-Sync compatible, and FreeSync Premium. Okay, so it's basically extremely smooth motion, perfect blacks, and much more vibrant colors. Compare it to the IPS panels and the VA, of course. You also have the mini LED, which is more or less the same price nowadays. But mini LED, I would say that is below OLED. So I would categorize like OLED top, mini LED, IPS, VA, and yeah, for gaming monitors. Okay, so it's incredible, and the image quality after 1 year, it's still amazing. Even after a year, this monitor still gives me that whoa moment, in some games, and when you are playing very good looking games. So OLEDs for me is just on another level. I bought as well a AOC 4K monitor, 31.5 inch, if I'm not mistaken, for my wife, and I'm also very pleasant and pleased with that monitor. Games like Cyberpunk 2077, Red Dead Redemption 2, what else do I have? Assassin's Creed, even Ark Raiders, Black Myth Wukong. I don't know. Avatar, for example, that I covered on the other day on the channel. Those kind of games, Days Gone, those kind of games, Horizon, of course, Horizon, Forbidden West, and the Zero Dawn remaster, The Last of Us 2, Part 2 remastered as well. Those kind of games are they look very, very beautiful on this monitor. Deliverance 2 as well. That's also a very nice looking game. Honestly, look like completely different games compared to an IPS display. Okay. Uh, Color coverage is also huge, okay, because around 99 of the DCI P3 color space, which makes everything looks extremely vibrant, more than the normal OLED. And when I say DCI P3, I'm not sure if every monitor has that, but this has a preset where you can just click. It's just one click away, and it will change your palette. And the legs, some games look very, very, very vibrant and pretty cool and pretty beautiful. And after a full year, I haven't, to be honest, noticed a color degradation or a brightness loss, especially on that. And I haven't noticed as well a panel uniformity issues as well. So far so good. Okay, 1 year of use, and I use it very much. Um, and yeah, which this is something that a lot of people are worried about in just 1 second. All right. That sorry, that people are worried about on that on OLED monitors. Okay, regarding gaming performance, look, if you play competitive games, these monitors feels incredible. I mean, if you are looking above 175 refresh rate, so you will not get it with this monitor because that is the max refreshing rate for this monitor. But for me, to be honest, is more than enough in any game. I don't need more than that. I'm happy with that. Oh, but are you saying that 200 or 300 monitor refreshing rate is not better? No, I'm not saying that. For me, for my needs, I'm more than happy, more than sufficient to me. It looks freaking smooth. Uh, I feel that I don't lose anything because of the 175 refresh rate when I'm playing, for example, Battlefield 6, Arc Raiders, or something like that. um, I don't feel that I'm not killing because of the refresh rate. Okay, so if we were comparing to a max refresh rate of 60, then would be probably noticeable. But regarding 175 refresh rate OLED panel versus a 240 refresh rate non OLED, I think it looks faster because of the response time, which is 0.03. So it's basically instantly. And so that is one of the strongest points on the OLED in any OLED, okay? Because it has also almost a near instant pixel response time. So there is basically no motion blur, okay? Um, Everything feels extremely smooth and responsive. And because also it's a 21:9 ratio, ultra wide is how it calls, you also get a wider field of view in many games. I mean, for some people like my wife, she doesn't like it, and I respect that. Of course, each person is free to choose whatever fits the most. For me, it looks very immersive. I prefer 100% 34 than 31.5 normal ratio aspect. I'm even already looking for a 45-inch ultra wide. So yes, that probably will come in the future. But for me, this wider field of view, it's much cooler for me, and it makes the experience much more immersive. And once you get used to ultra wide gaming, for me, honestly, and this is only my feeling and my experience as a customer, it's hard to go back to a normal ratio. Regarding the HDR, okay, it's good but not perfect. Okay, but I mean, for the price that you are paying, a lot of time for this monitor, I already saw this monitor selling for 500 euros. With some promotions, if you add something there and here and there, probably 400. I paid 600 and something 1 year ago. So you can't ask for much more. Okay, and yeah, in practice this means that HDR looks much better than on most LCD monitors. Okay, but it's not as bright as a high-end OLED TV or something like that. Okay, but it's pretty damn bright for my taste already and for my eyes. So in games, HDR can look fantastic. Okay. Um, Not talking about the Windows HDR, because for me that sucks all day long. The HDR that you have as a default on Windows, I don't use it. Okay, I prefer to tweak my colors at my own taste. Really, I really don't use that. Um, because for me it's still a little bit messy when it comes to selecting the HDR, Windows HDR. You know. One second. Issues after a long time. uh, Thinking about it, for me, the is not an issue. Text clarity, but it's not because I have the monitor for a long time now, but because it's an OLED. Normally, some people might notice slight color fringing on a small text, you know, or it looks not blurred, but it looks like you need like glasses, basically. I didn't notice anything on this OLED 14 by 1440p, and neither on my wife's monitor, which is the 4K 31.5 inch. For gaming or video, it's completely irrelevant. Okay, and but I use it for work, and for me it's more than okay. I didn't feel anything. Some people are more picky, some people are more sensitive as well, probably, than me. I didn't notice anything. But if you are a programmer or someone who reads text all day, you might feel something. An IPS panel can still look a little bit sharper in terms of texting, you know. But there are ways also to get around that as well. Anyways, so I would always go for an OLED, to be honest. But yeah, so the regarding the OLED maintenance, which is also a big concern for OLED users. This monitor has an automatic pixel refresh. Okay, uh, also has a pixel shifting and burn in prevention features, like if you are with the monitor and with the screen open for a long time, it pops up a message on the right side telling you, look, do you want to refresh the screen, yes or no? Normally I ignore it, to be honest, and once I finish my day or once I get out of the chair to take a break for 50 minutes, I do it, or otherwise I just do it whenever I go. I close my computer, and once I close the screen automatically start refreshing. I don't need to do anything. I just need to turn off the screen, and the screen automatically go into the refresh mode and the repairing mode. So after 1 year of every daily use, I haven't experienced any visible burning. Perhaps it still has something, I don't know. I didn't experience nothing, and I already did some tests, like with the different colors on the screen. So perfect so far. And yeah, so long-term tests from hardware reviewers suggest burn-in usually takes thousands of hours and of extreme usage before it becomes noticeable. This already has more than 1,000 hours, 100% more than 2,000. Is just make make the counts. 1 year of usage, 8 hours per day, 7 hours per day only for work, and also after that gaming some sessions. So it's not, honestly, not something that I'm worried about anymore. Comparing it to other monitors in the market, look, this has a very good contrast, color depth, and response time in versus IPS versus OLED. I know that there are OLEDs out there better than this, but again, this one is a very cheap for a OLED, for an OLED. Not is not a cheap screen monitor, but in if we are talking about OLED monitors, for example, I would love to have, and probably that will be my next purchase, a 5K, 2K LG monitor OLED. If you are comparing it to that one is almost $2,000 in Portugal. So, I mean, if you compare the price and what you are getting for the price that you are paying, I think it's very good, very solid choice, 100%. Um, yeah, regarding the rest, basically after 1 year of usage, would I still buy it in 2026? 100%. But it will depend on, again, what you need. Every purchase, every hardware, any hardware, any purchase that you might need to do or that you want to do, it will always depends on your requirements, what you need, what you are looking for, the price, the budget. So no one can tell you, oh no, don't go for that, go instead for this. No, it will depend on you. So this is my honest review, and this comes from someone that already used this monitor for a long time, so I can let you know, okay, so yeah, I don't want that, I prefer a different thing. Fair. It's more than okay. So if you want this game, if you want this monitor, I think you should consider it. If you play a lot of games, it's good. Um, if you want the best possible contrast, it's also good. Okay, and if you like immersion, sorry, ultra wide gaming, it's a very solid option for me. Again, it's up to you because my wife doesn't like ultra wides, so she doesn't like these formats. Okay, um, it might not be the ideal if you want extremely bright HDR. Okay, I admit that. If you are worried about OLED maintenance, which I wouldn't be, but again, it's your life, your money, your decision. So yeah, that's basically the downsides of this monitor. For the price that you are paying, it's very good. Come on. So after a full year of usage with this AOC AGON Pro 3414 by 1440p monitor with the 175 refresh rate, this is by far one of the most impressive monitors that I ever had, and I have used for the price. And ultra wide OLED gaming is just on another level for me. I really love it. That's why I'm aiming for the 45 one. It's not perfect, okay, but I think there is no perfect. There is not such a thing as a perfect monitor, okay. Um, Once you get used to the OLEDs, the contrast, the motion clarity, it's very difficult to get to go and give a step back for again to IPS or VA. So yeah, let's jump now to the different profiles, colors, everything, because I promise you that this would be a full review. So there you go. Let's go. Yep. So here, as we can see, okay, I'm using these presets. As you can see, you can tweak very much as you wish, anyways, depending on the OLED that you have or on this screen. So I will insert this as default. Let's say that is there any way? Wait a second. What the fuck? 1 second. All right, so probably this is default preset from NVIDIA, okay? And as you can see now, what you are seeing here, 1 second. See these kind of colors? Look here. Let me put the automatic focus. All right, so let me change. Okay, let's go. Here, basically, you have several presets. Okay, luminance, you have, for example, if you go for 50, you can see that it's getting darker and darker and darker, correct? You go for 50, this should show like this. For me, the ideal is 60. Okay. Also, in brightness, you should start with 50, which is this. And for me, the ideal is 100. You know? And what else do you have? You also have dark boost. You see the difference? And also echo standard, for example. And also several types of gamma. And is also HDR. In color setup, you also have another option, which is multimedia, which is the one that I'm using now. You have different presets, user cool. Okay. And you also have the panel native. Here is where I was previously talking about DCI-P3. See? And we'll change this stuff accordingly. Look, for me, it's you should set it as you wish. I'm just showing the options that you have, but I will now go into Cyberpunk, for example, and show you the difference between one and the other, so you can see it better. Okay guys, so not using reshade, okay, we are already inside of the game, just for you to see the difference on this screen, which is very cool, very vibrant, according to also to NVIDIA preset. Now I'm going to select the color setup that you saw previously, and now I'm going to change to DCI-P3. See the difference, the red, everything. 1 second. I think it's wait a second. See the difference? Now I'm with the correct. Okay, look at the red. Look now to the DCI. This is my own tweak. This is RGB, and this is DCI-P3. You see the difference? You have a big difference. It's a little bit more difficult showing on the camera instead of showing the real life, but it's the only thing that I can do. So regarding the color temperature, see? Okay, let me go to a different scenario. Okay, here. Let me show you the DC. So first of all, the color gamut, RGB. Okay, and now DCI-P3. See the difference? So again, panel native, RGB, DCI-P3. See? You're gonna choose whatever you want, whatever it looks more real or good looking for you. Now, going to the luminance, and you can go back in the video and understand what I'm talking about. It's very easy. Let's go for the gamma 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3. As you can see here. See? Echo mode. Dark boost. See, it's off for me. Contrast 60, brightness 100%. Color setup, again, color gamut, native, RGB, DCI-P3. Okay, color temperature. See, and again. So this is my preset basically, and also you can tweak it with the NVIDIA colors or AMD colors as well, okay? I will show you another spot. And I'm not using reshade, okay? Because normally I use reshade on a lot of games, but no, it's not the case, just for showing purposes, okay? Now, let's go again. Luminance, dark boost, as you can see. Actually, I kinda like the level 3. Okay. Standard echo mode. And gamma 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. On the color setup, multimedia, internet, office, reading. Mine is either off or multimedia. And color temperature, user, cool, normal, and warm. Okay. Here I'm using panel native because if you use the other ones you will override. Okay. So RGB and DCI-P3, which is one of my favorite ones as well. Again, panel native with the tweaks that I already did with my multimedia, user, and so on. And here it overrides. Okay. Pretty much it, guys. Yeah, all about the colors and the presets that this monitor has. It's very cool. I'm freaking loving it. I think it's very hard to beat for the price that you are paying. So don't forget. Yes, I want to buy a 45 LG OLED, but it's a completely different. It's completely different in price, right? So it's almost not comparable because you are using almost 2K and this is 500. In the good days, 5500, something like that. So it's very cheap for an OLED, and you are going to get you will be very satisfied. At least it's my opinion, my experience as a customer, and it's this channel is all about. Okay. Alright, so here, now let me show you. If we go ahead and change here the luminance, dark boost off, see the difference? Actually I like the third one, standard, on the echo mode. Wait, what the? I'm being shot at. I was not expecting that, but one second. Alright, whatever. As you can see here, right? Okay. Now, let's move to the color setup. If we go to the color gamut, if you go RGB, see? And now if you go DCI-P3, now, see? My favorite ones, it's DCI-P3 or panel native, sorry, through your own preset. So cool, you can use user. See, warm, normal, cool, user. Okay. Now on the here, see as it is it changing. So you have a lot of customization in your contrast color. Let's insert 6 instead of 60, 100%, 50%. Here, see, I'm at 60 because I like it, and brightness 11, 100%. HDR mode, you also have here, okay, difference. For me, this is what I like the less. Okay, regarding the other settings, gaming settings, you can see here also shadow control and everything, game color. I don't touch on these ones, I just touch on luminous or color setup. Besides that, basically is you can 1 second. Yeah. So basically, regarding the colors, you also can change it on AMD or NVIDIA side as you prefer. Okay, but it's just to prove a point that you have a lot of customization with this screen, and for the price that you are paying, it's more than fair in my opinion. 100% fair. And yeah, let's jump to the conclusion, and should be all for the colors difference. Thank you very much. Let's go. So guys, conclusion, very easy for me, a very easy choice. If we are thinking about the overall value, around 500 up to 750 more or less, at least here in Europe, Portugal, I would say. It's a very competitive price for QD-OLED monitors, ultra-wide, delivers premium OLED image quality as well. It has a strong balance between gaming performance and visuals, immersion. Overall, great value for the money in the OLED monitor market until today, 100%, I would say. Regarding the performance, is already you already know 175 refresh rate, 0.03 response time in all OLEDs basically. It has adaptive sync support, G-Sync and FreeSync Premium. It is also ideal for fast-paced games instead of only slow AAA bangers, open world kind of situation. The display, it's a 34-inch ultra-wide, 3440 by 1440p resolution. What else? It has 1.07 billion colors. They are also very vibrant and rich. It's very good for gaming, productivity, movies. The biggest part for me as well is the amount of customization that you have. Okay, adding the screen's customization to your AMD or NVIDIA graphics cards, perfect. Why are you not recording on through the NVIDIA graphics card? Very simple answer, because the card just simply don't catch the difference and the tweaks that show up from the screen to you, because I think it records the image, the graphic cards records the image, and from until this part, and from here you tweak it on the screen and pass it to you in real life. So I'm not sure if there is any specific setting within the cards to record those tweaks that show up as a final stage for you. I don't think so. I didn't find anything. If you know, please comment below. I'm more than happy. It would do my life much easier. But yeah, look, color profiles, brightness and contrast, turning, crosshair. I mean, no one will use the monitor's crosshair, but still you have it there as an option. Use it if you want. It is adjustable stand, height adjustment. You can adjust whatever you want. I have it attached to the wall, but I will show you as well some after these final thoughts, some images from the package itself and what it comes with the package. The weak points, I would say that each is the HDR 400 instead of some displays that you have HDR 1000. I think it's 1000, yes. Look, again, price versus what you get is very good. Brightness can be lower than mini LED sometimes. Okay, I admit that that is also true, and it's not a matter of admitting or not, or it's facts, right? So, and OLED burning risks as well, which for me, in my opinion, is no longer making sense because you have protections that mitigate those kind of risks implemented already in within the monitor. So, and some HDR content, it looks sometimes that doesn't is not fully utilized by the panel monitor's panel, but I mean it can be me that I'm too picky sometimes. Okay, so for me the final takeaway, I would say, look, one of the most accessible 100% QD OLEDs in the market, in the ultra wide monitors as well market, combines speed, image quality, and and immersion. So great option for people who want to enter the OLED gaming space without breaking the bank. And yeah, for the performance and image quality that you get, again, the price is absolutely worth it and very hard to beat. Thank you very much and see you on the next one. Bye.